What's going on? The Winners Win podcast. Your boy Loso 2.0. I'm out of breath. And today we're going to talk about how to tell a great story. Now, before we get started with that, I like to do some housekeeping things. Like this video, share it, subscribe to the Winners Win channel. If you listen to this on any type of podcast platform, leave a 5-star review and leave a review below so I can see how I can better serve you. Now, my fault, guys. Out of breath. I just got done doing some working out a little bit. Got done knocking some pull-ups out. Big icy there. I'm good now. So first, we're going to talk about how to tell a great story. First one is tell a true story. And I don't mean true in the idea of factual, but true as an authentic story, like a story that really is coming from within. Remember, not just you talking to somebody, not just you telling a story, you got to tell as if nobody else was there. If nobody else was there, you want them to actually live the story that you're trying to tell to them. So make it true, authentic, and coming from the soul. Second thing is stories make a promise, right? Like, for example, in my story, I've been through all those things. I've been through the heartaches, being homeless before, sleeping in different people's cribs every night, taking showers at the YMCA, still finding ways to get workouts in and stuff like that, and thinking that basketball was my only way out, but figuring out that my voice actually had a way out, and I made a promise to myself, and my promise is I'm going to be the best motivational speaker ever, and I'm going to be forever etched in personal development history ever as one of those, that Mount Rushmore personal development right there with, Jim Rohn, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Bob Proctor, all that stuff like that. I made a promise. So great stories also make a promise. A great story, another example is Naruto. He's telling them, I'm going to be Hokage someday. I love that stuff, right? Third is stories are trusted. They are trusted, not in the, in the aspect of going back to the factual way, but they are trusted because you tell them the same way every single time, right? Your story, you probably heard my story so many times and heard so many different things that I said because I continuously repeat things and you trust me. You trust my story. I'm putting it in front of you multiple times in the same exact way. And there's no real big changes with my story at all because it is true. It all comes from within. I even lost my father for this stuff. Not like lost him in the sense of he passed away, but lost him in the father as a way as he disowned me because of the truth that I was telling. And everybody knew that the truth I was telling was true, but he definitely denied it. And then in that case, he also stopped seeing me as his son. So that's another way the story is trusted. 4, stories are subtle. Sometimes you don't have a great story doesn't always have to be so in detail, so, put out there to just in a way that you explain everything out. Sometimes people get the bigger picture just by listening to the story themselves. You don't have to explain, okay, this is what pushed me. No, this happened. And then I started doing this. So they can make the inferences themselves that, he went through all of these trials and all these tribulations. And then these things helped him to become the person that he is today. Stories are subtle in that sense. I'm not going to sit here and spell it out to you. If you don't get it, those who get it, they get it. Was it, it's IYKYK. If you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. This story is subtle. This story, you can pick up on that stuff if you know. Not if you're intelligent enough, but if you've been through the ringer, if you've been through the fire, you put that pain in, right? And next is stories happen fast, right? Not in a sense of you could tell a story in 30 seconds. Okay, let me tell you the story is. Sometimes in that sense too, you can get to the point quicker with the story, but also too, you also want to set the mood, but I don't mean the mood in that way, right? But I'm talking about an example is the guy made Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin. He gets a lot of criticism for he actually puts too much detail. But then he comes out and they change that detail and they put it into the TV series and it becomes the best TV series out there. All time, Game of Thrones. And that's crazy, right? Because at first they were like, nah, this is too much, But that same detail helped create a franchise of whole movie series, TV series that every episode is pretty much like a movie. Because he was so in detail with everything that now people got that same detail on the show and were able to just basically, he wrote the script for them, right? So just going back a little bit through it, right? Telling a good story is just telling it's true, right? Not in a sense of factual, a sense of it's authentic and it comes truly from within. Two, that it's making a promise. You're making a promise to do that. And I told you guys a great example of that is Naruto saying, like, I'm going to be okay. He's promising to do that for you guys, right? Third is it's trusted, not in the sense of facts again, but it's trusted. It's put out there the same way every single time. And it's so much that you start to believe in him, just like with Naruto. He started to believe in him so much because he kept saying it every single time. Four, stories are subtle, not in the sense of like they're, quick and, you tell them a little silently. No, in the way that like, it tells something. You just have to tell a story, and the lesson is getting. If you know, if you don't, you don't. But you can infer what you want from the story, what you take from it yourself, kind of like the Bible, right? It's made a bunch of parables to help you remember, create different lessons for you. And then stories happen fast, not in the sense of speed, but in the sense of they're actually out there just telling a story, getting to the point, using the information that's making in order to get to the point. Stories appeal to the senses. Like I said, a story isn't just real, 1, 2, 3, okay, I'm done type of thing. No, a story actually goes through, okay, he tasted this. Remember, like I said, the Game of Thrones, he actually went down into detail. And I mean, it was super detailed. At points, thought I was reading a sex novel. Dude's over here talking about some, and then he planted his seed within her, and his seed goes down her leg, and all this crazy stuff. I'm like, this is wild, right? Like, bro, like this is a adult book, or is this literally, me trying to figure out about Game of Thrones? You know what I mean? I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, just like I'm a Harry Potter fan, you guys know, but they appeal to the senses to the point where it's so in detail that it's like, you really can't miss it. You feel like you're there. You feel everything that they're coming through from internally, externally. Now, stories also are aimed at an individual. Stories really rarely, you'll see marketers actually talking to everybody, because the saying is, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, because you're trying to appeal, you're trying to make everybody happy. And if you're making everybody happy, guess who's not happy? Yourself. And guess who's not making money? You. Example, doctors. A family doctor, yes, they make a lot of money, but they don't make as much money as a brain surgeon, because the brain surgeon is specifically working on the brain, whereas a family doctor is overall, okay, this is with this family, this is with the family, just does little regular checkups. You see what I'm saying? So niching down and making it about a certain individual. My stuff is about people, young minority men, specifically entrepreneurs that want to achieve what it takes most to achieve in 3 to 4 years, achieve in a quarter of the time, using some of the most powerful high income skills, just persuasion, sales, and mindset training, right? So literally niche it down, speak to a certain individual. You, not they, we, none of that. You and I, you're speaking to them individually. Stories also don't contradict themselves, right? You can't say, I was living in abandoned buildings, but at the same time say, I was driving a Lamborghini. How you going to drive a Lamborghini and you freaking over here homeless? That makes no sense. Although some people do that, right? And then sometimes I see that with our community. People be driving the nicest car ever, but then their house look like it's on one leg. You know what I mean? The foundation not even fixed right? The roof coming down, they nice infested crib. But yet they driving the hottest car though. Sometimes it is like that, but seriously, don't contradict yourself during these stories, right? And then, of course, agree with worldviews is the last one. That one, I don't know how I feel about that one, because there's a lot of worldviews that, I may disagree with, you may disagree, but that's what makes us all our unique person as well. So that's really all I had to how to tell a great story. I want you guys, please, to like this video, share it. I want you to comment below, what is your greatest tip? Your tip on saying a great story. I want you to comment below your greatest tip, not anyone you heard of mine, what you want to do. And while you're at it, subscribe to this channel. Listen to this on any type of podcast platform. Leave a review, 5-star review, please. Leave a review below so I can see I can better serve you. Now, I want you guys to keep counting the day. Winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.